Wow, what an absolutely insane trading day today. We had ROLR that went off on the scanner in the pre market and then throughout the day gave some incredible moves, at one point up well over 400%. And it ended up being a great stock. It was my biggest winner on the day. I ended the day up 6,800. Now, when you take a look at the start of this recap, you're going to see that I was pretty red on some other stocks. At one point, I was down $8,000. And then I had this opportunity in ROLR and it had enough movement. It gave me a chance to size up aggressively. We ended up in halt, and then it released higher, and I took some exit and turned what was going to be a pretty big red day into a really nice green day. So I was really excited about that. I'm excited for you to check out this replay. Hopefully, this is helpful to you as I talk through some mindset of what I was thinking going into this trade and continuing to take this opportunity as ROLR held up throughout the day. So I stuck around here for another trade, and I'm in this position right now. I've got 3,000 shares at currently $3 per share unrealized gain. So we'll see what this does on the unhalt. And it was curling up, it was holding the 21 EMA, so I took an additional add to my position at 1629 and then again at 1620. So we'll just see where this unhalts here. We've got an unhalt probably here in about 2 minutes. So we've got about 1 minute until unhalt here. So I'm just watching to see what this is going to do on the unhalt. Right now on my unrealized, I'm up $9,000. So I'm looking for it to hold that halt level at 1863. If it can hold that, then we could be looking for a move up to $20 a share. And I wouldn't be opposed to taking half off if we hesitate somewhere around 19. Lock in half and maybe take another half off. So got resumption here in about just about 20 seconds at this point. So again, just going to watch 1863. If we can hold that halt level, I may look to take half off. And I'm not looking to add here. If we broke through pre-market high, then it could really get interesting, but about 7 seconds here. So I took half off there, took another half off, took the rest off there on that big pullback. So that was really nice. We got a great unhalt there, clear up around 22.28. My best exit was 21.84. So that was great. And then my next exit was 20.33 and then 18.62. So when it ripped up through the pre-market high, I wanted to take half off kind of regardless when I saw that big gap up because I thought there'd probably be other people taking profit there. And so there were, so I had half off there. And then as it pulled back below the pre-market high, I took the second half off. So half of the final remaining. And had this stayed above pre-market high or immediately gone into the next halt, I would have been inclined to not sell that, that final half. But when we pulled back below the pre-market high, I just anticipated, at least for me, that could mean that there's a lot of selling there up against that pre-market high. And so I'm looking to be out. But again, had we closed above pre-market high, I would have been interested in keeping this final 750 shares. So, you know, I'm gonna call this lucky slash fortunate. I mean, I was down $8,000 at one point on the day, which is a lot larger than I would ever like to be. And I did continue to watch ROLR as it was popping up. I actually tried this move right here and ended up kind of break even on this. And then as it curled again, that's when I started getting interested again, kind of here in the 14s and 15s, just to see if this would hold the ADMA. And look, fortunately, it worked out. It gave us the second curl. Move this out of the way. So I tried this initial curl, kind of like a break even trade. And then as this curled up again through the 21, I was adding up into the 520s, 530s, and then sitting tight. My final add, you can see, so I said 520s, but I was buying here at 15, 1514, 1514, 1544, 1540. I added at 1629 and then at 1620, and then best exit up there at 2184. So really solid. Ended up the day, I mean, super green. This is one of the best green days I've had in the recent past. And my next closest was back at the first part of December when I was green 6,000 on a day. So really happy to end the day there. And look, there's always a component of luck in trading. You don't know if other traders are going to see what you're seeing and if people are going to buy in, if shorts are going to stop in or pop in there and sell it down. You just have to take your best, low risk, high probability entry, which is what I tried to do. Even knowing I was down $8,000, I really tried to focus on just holding with the stock proving me right. And then again, as I saw this big wick on the open, I had sell half already dialed in and then took the second two halves as it pulled back below the pre-market high. Pre-market high is right there at 2083. And so that's really what I was watching to see if we're going to close above that. And when we couldn't close above that, it was just time to be out the rest. So this other exit at 1862, not the best, but I didn't want to get stuck in a halt down on a rejection of the pre-market high. So I took my exit. Happy overall. I was down 3 grand on this stock, roughly, and then ended up 12. So that's about a $15,000 swing on those 3,000 shares that I had. So again, nice trade when I took these entries in the 15s. And then what I was really assuming was break even. So I added at 1629. That put my break even about 1580. And so, I just assumed break even. If for some reason this thing rolled over, I was going to be out, or if we lost the EMA, I would have been out. So worth the risk, given that we had flipped back positive here. So overall, I'm going to call it there. It's been kind of a wild morning. I hope to not repeat a morning like today, meaning that I don't want to be down so big and feel like I'm trying to recover that. And that's still, a discipline component that I'm really working on. It is hard for many traders to overcome that. And I'm obviously still working on that. I'm working on being able to walk away when I hit my max loss at 1500 and just call it a day. And today I didn't. It worked out. That's called getting lucky. I've had days that I've tried the same thing and ended up down $20,000 in my paper trading account. And so I think it's critical to recognize, there's a limit to what the market's going to allow. And this time it just worked out. So I'll take it more conservatively tomorrow. I'm gonna start with smaller starter positions. I was starting with around 1,500 shares on starters today, and that was probably too aggressive. I think I'll start probably back down around 500 share starter position tomorrow, and just work on regaining some of that confidence to do what I need to do. Again, this is the type of trade I need to be taking, moving up through the 21 EMA, taking positions at 1514 and then assuming that kind of the low of the candle as my stop loss, and also being willing to hold with the 21 holding. And look, it worked out. So I'm happy about that. Ended up 6,800 on the day, and I'm going to call it here.